local forecast with meteorologist Jackson Chastain starts now.
Well, we had quite the day today.
We did.
It was, a little, some sun here and there, and
It was all right. I think all said and done for early November. It wasn't
Monday.
Wasn't the worst in the world for a Monday, right? Everyone's starting their weeks. We start with a live look from Camp Hill, and as meteorologist Dan Tomaso mentioned earlier, getting used to those earlier sunsets, around 5 p.m. this time, and we'll be getting earlier and earlier over the coming months. Temperatures right now, though, not that bad, sitting at about 57 degrees in Harrisburg. A lot of us kind of hovering around the 50s and 60s off to the east, off to the west. We have a little bit of cooler weather, and that's because we have a cold front that is in the process of moving through. So you got State College, Altoona, McConnellsburg sitting at 49 degrees. So a bit of a disparity between the east and the west. But overall, we all end up relatively chilly out the door for Tuesday. As for the highs today, they were relatively pleasant. And if you got to go out for a walk or spend your time maybe eating your lunch outside, you'll notice highs today sat in the mid 60s, and we're still even contending with a little bit of pleasant weather right now. The main thing that's been bothering a lot of us has not been necessarily the temperatures, but the wind that we saw for a lot of this weekend, and we're going to see through a lot of this week as well. Combine that with the lows, which are sitting in the 30s and 40s, and you have a pretty nasty scenario for many who maybe don't like that cooler weather. Now, that front is moving through. We've got high pressure on the backside. So what that means is, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of wind over the next several days. In the precision cast, I would say about 10 to 15 miles per hour on most days. So through Tuesday, through Wednesday, you're going to be seeing a lot of the same thing. We also have many cold fronts moving through. It's not just one. So we have the one going through tonight, obviously, and then heading in towards the middle part of the week, Wednesday into Thursday, yet another front that's going to push on through. And you can see it in the precision cast here. Tuesday is dry, obviously rain-free. And then as we get into late Wednesday, you might see a stray shower. And that would be the hint for you that our next front has arrived. And these aren't particularly strong, but they do the trick to keep those winds in play. And that's why so many of these days are going to be quite windy. In terms of big rain chances, though, we're actually watching the weekend. So Saturday morning, I would say mainly, that's probably going to be our best chance over the next 7 to get some meaningful accumulation. Whether that happens or not, different question, but it does look a little bit more robust than what we've been seeing so far. That low eventually swings through the day after on Sunday. Might drop in some stray showers there, but we'll see what happens. Beyond that, heading into next Monday, a high of 48. So that front later in the weekend. So we got 3 fronts that we're watching here. Finally drops us down into the upper 40s. That's going to be a nice little chiller there. I think the first time that we've seen a high in the 40s in a while, Valerie.
yeah, all right. Thank you, Jackson.